$5 million free roll. 2,000 players converge on December 13th in Las Vegas. One person will win $1 million. Will it be you? Sign up now at clubwptgold.com using code YouTube to be one of 3 people who wins their passport this week.
All right, the action's been folded around to the New Yorker, Andy Frankenberger. And he has got a Jack-9 offsuit with the button, and it looks like he's going to push. Makes it 60,000 to go. Right behind him, though, Tom Braband has picked up a pair of kings.
You know, Tom's been kicked around the first couple pots, but now he's got the cards to do some kicking of his own here. I think when you're on a short stack, you can't fool around here.
But he's going to fool around, just calls it.
I'm not fond of this play. That price is the big blind end to call, but Jaffee throws the ace high away. So here we go. Let's see if the slow play works. Oh, and it might, because Andy has now flopped the top pair. He's got 2 jacks.
And Braband going to dig the hole, put the twigs and the leaves over it, waiting for the sucker to fold in. Will it be Andy?
When you raise with a Jack-9, you flop top pair. Certainly you're going to like it. So Andy is reaching for chips, and he's going to bet 150,000.
Now Titan Tom, 25 years old, going to look back at the hand like he doesn't really know what he has.
I just can't believe it. He's on the short stack. I just can't imagine he's not going to move in here.
Mullen.
And he does the correct thing, pushes it all in.
I call.
And Andrew's going to call with top pair, and you can't blame him for that. He just got reeled in because Tom did not re-raise before the flop here. And as the cards lie, Tom Braband.
Come on.
He's called Titan Tom because he played baseball at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Their nickname is the Titans. And right now, Titan Tom trying to hit a home run and stay alive, and does it right on the turn as the king comes off. Andy is drawing dead, as we say. No card in the river can save him. The deuce of spades. So there you go. The former baseball player knocking it out of the park right there.
Yeah, it goes to his friend, gets the high fives. He's excited. Tom Braband back in action.
Obviously, you know, I'm not trying to show you up, you know. You're allowed to celebrate. That's a big hand.
Back to the action.
That's folded around to Tommy Lee. He picks up big slick ace king. He's going to raise it to 60,000. Folded around to Andy Frankenberger, who looks down at 2 5s. Andy's a double major from Duke in economics and Russian. Very bright guy. He is going to raise here. Comes over the top, makes it 160,000 to go with the speed limit.
Into Tom Braband, who got lucky in the last few hands, and he's going to fold it back on Tom Lee.
Rough idea. How much you got? Rough idea, please.
2.3.
2.3.
2.4. 2.3.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yes, we saw Tom Lee paying ace-7 offsuit pretty strong. He re-raised the guy all in with an ace-5 offsuit a minute ago. I just can't imagine he's not coming over the top here with this big hand.
Tom Lee, a tough customer, well respected, well liked. It's like an old commercial. Nobody doesn't like Tom Lee.
I warned you about that.
Yeah, he plays wildly according to a lot of the players. You know, changes gears a lot. You don't know what he's going to do, but I know this. He's played 9 WPT events. He's cashed 4 times. That is incredible. He's just calling here, does not re-raise with the ace-king.
Let's go a bit faster, boys. Let's go.
And look at this. Kyle says, let's play a little faster. He's getting impatient over there.
Flop 10-4 deuce with 2 clubs. Pretty good flop for a pair of 5s. And he knows it. Like he's reaching for chips to make the continuation bet.
He's going to get aggressive. 200,000. Tom Lee hitting none of that board.
Vince, in my mind, if you don't re-raise before the flop with this hand, you just muck it here.
Well, he is the chip leader. He could afford this. He's unorthodox, this guy. He's liable to do anything, as we've seen before.
We need to get a clock.
Yeah.
Can we get a clock?
Well, there's Kyle Wilson, the Canadian, asking for a clock. What that means is the tournament director comes over and gives the player 1 minute to act on his hand. If he doesn't act in that time, his hand is automatically dead.
I just keep calling the clock. So I want to play.
He and Jaffee both agree. Get a clock on this guy. And look at this. They're going to push him out pretty fast. He is folded. Did he get pressured by Kyle there a little bit? let's take a look at the Wonder Cam. A king comes up on the turn. Oh, man. Tom Lee, perhaps forced to play fast, folds the hand. He would have won.
The problem is, man, some of these players don't know about the slogan that we know about. You think long, you think wrong. So why think long? Boom. Make a quick decision to move on.
All right, back to the action. Folded around to Andy Frankenberger, who started this event. As the chip leader, he has been whittled away. This time he's got a queen nine of clubs.
Well, this is the battle of the blinds here. Andy in a small blind with queen nine of clubs. He's going to raise it, makes it 65,000 to go.
Into his old nemesis, Tom Braband, who has an interesting 7-6 of hearts.
Yep, he's got the suited connectors, the 76 trombones. He's going to make the call.
Two-way action.
And flop comes king, queen, 7 with 2 spades. Well, Andy's checking here. I'm surprised he'd check queens in that spot.
Hey, flopped queens, and Braband with 7's going to check as well. Here comes the turn. Oh, wow, another 7.
Well, ironically, the reverse of this happened a moment ago to Tom, where his opponent hit 3 7s on the turn to beat him when he had top pair. In fact, they were queens.
That's right, and Frankenberger's going to bet 60,000, and Braband going to just slow call him with the 3 of a kind. Huh, going to the river.
Well, a jack comes off. You're sitting in Andy's seat. Opponent didn't bet on the flop, didn't raise on the turn. You think your queens are probably the best hand, so you're going to fire again here.
And Frankenberger does that. 60,000.
It's a small bet, though. Sort of a defensive bet, sort of a feeler bet. Recognize the pot's got over 270,000 in it, so let's see if Tom can figure that bet out. It looks like he is getting some raising chips out, and indeed he is. Going to make it 200,000 now.
Titan Tom going to put pressure on the Frankenberger.
I call.
Will the burger get charged? Yes, it does. He has paid him off.
Tom Braband taking down that pot.
Nice hand, man.
Will played the 3 7s on the turn and it paid off. Because he got an extra bet in on the river.
Wow.
Nice hand.
Frankenberger coming out as the chip leader, now in trouble, taking hits from around the table. Well done for Braband, though.
Well, 6 players left fighting it out for this title. 3 have been at the WPT final table before, 3 haven't. All 6 looking for their first WPT title. Hold it around to the button here. Tom Braband looks down at a pair of 7s, got the 2 walking sticks. He's a pro player out of Huntington Beach, California. College baseball player. He's going to raise it, makes it 75,000 to go. Around to the 2-day lawyer, Jaffee. He looks down at a pair of 9s. Now he's on the short stack here. That's the kind of hand you might just want to ship it with.
Mullen.
And there it is.
Well, that's what he's done. That's what I would do with that hand in this spot.
Kyle Wilson out. And back on Braband, and he's made the call.
Well, Tom calls with the 2 7s. He's hoping his opponent's got 2 overcards or an under pair. Unfortunately for him, the opponent's got the dreaded over pair.
Good luck, Jared.
Domination by the 2-day lawyer, Jaffee. Let's see if he can get lucky with his 9s.
Well, it's come 6-5 due. So far, so good for Jared. He's well out in front.
We were a little faster.
Tom's going to need some help. Needs to catch a 7 or 2 runners to make a straight. 2 runners to make a flush would do it as well, but needs help.
Now a 10 shows up on the turn. No help to Braband.
Well, we're down to the river. Well, the deuce comes off, so Jared Jaffee doubling up there.
Look at his group.
Over high-fiving his buddies. Says, that's why I got out of being a lawyer. And Vince, of course, we can't stop talking about this guy because he went to law school, took a job as a lawyer, quit after 2 days to become a poker player, and here he is out here in the World Poker Tour.
What do your parents say about that one?
Prior to this, I made the Southern Poker Championship final table. I think my friends counted it. I might have been called the 2-day lawyer like 20+ times.
2-day lawyer?
The 2-day lawyer.
2-day lawyer.
2-day lawyer.
I think it's funny. Everybody else thinks it's funny. No, that's what I was. I was a lawyer for 2 days, and now I'm here. So at least this is validating my decision.
All right, back to the action. Kyle Wilson holding a monster. Pocket aces. The 2-day lawyer looks down to suited connectors. 7-8 of spades.
That's the kind of hand you like to see flops with. He's probably going to play this hand, but better flop a lot to crack these aces. He does make the call.
Danger lurks here for Jared Jaffee.
And it might lurk for Kyle. Now flop comes 6-6 deuce. No help to either player. Action on Jared. Of course, Kyle doesn't need any help. He's got the 2 aces.
Now Kyle with a monster hand, gonna check again.
Well, slow playing it. Makes it look like he's got 2 big cards that aren't paired, and now an 8 comes off. This could spell trouble for Jared. He's gonna check the 8s here.
And Kyle's gonna make it 150,000.
Well, Jared's is very well raised here. The guy didn't bet on the flop.
There is.
And that's exactly what's happening. That slow play on the flop by Kyle Wilson could work to perfection for him right here, because his opponent has check raised on the turn.
Whoa, makes it 350,000 to go.
Now, because there's a possible straight out there, a possible flush out there, the opponent might have another pair. I think you got to come over the top here. You can only slow play so long in poker.
I'm all in.
There it is. He has gone all in. Doesn't care anymore. Got me beat. You got me beat.
I'll tell you, a tough decision for Jared here. The way this hand is played, he knows the only way he's beat here is if his opponent deliberately slow played a giant pair on the flop. Can the 2-day lawyer solve the case here?
Easy to read a jury than Kyle Wilson.
And you can read his facial expressions. It equals pain. He makes the right laydown. He does fold it, and Kyle Wilson picks up the pot.
Kyle Wilson's friends on the rail celebrating.
You pick a pair. Just get checked on you then.
So nicely done by Kyle Wilson. 6 players remain at the Bicycle Casino. We're coming back for more action on the World Poker Tour. 5 of diamonds makes it 70,000 to go.
Andy Frankenberger going to make the call with the King-7 of hearts. King-7 versus King-5. Here's the flop. Queen-Jack 5.
Action on Frankenberger. He's checking.
Kyle has bottom pair here. He's also checking.
All right, turn card coming up.
Ace of diamonds comes off. Andy now with an ace-high straight draw. Needs a 10 for a straight. He's going to lead out and bet here.
60,000. But Wilson with a flush draw and a straight draw is going to put in a raise. Makes it 300,000 to go.
That's a nice bet by Kyle Wilson here. If his opponent had a pair of queens or a weak ace, he could well throw it away here.
Andy Frankenberger, an amateur player, but a solid one. He's going to fold the hand. Nicely done.
Kyle Wilson taking down that pot. He said whatever money he wins, he's just going to use it to gamble bigger.
That's the spirit. All right, action on Frankenberger from New York City. He's going to fold this one. Tom Braband.
He's got a Jack-9 here. Ironically, what Tom said he's going to do with his money is invest it in real estate. So the former baseball player on the short stack now, but man, look at this. Going to raise it up front, as we say.
He's a gambler in early position with just Jack-9. Makes it 75,000 to go.
It's a daring play here.
2-day lawyer goes out. Kyle Wilson not going to play. Tommy Lee ejects. And now it's on the restaurant owner, Franco Brunetti. Has an Italian restaurant in Hollywood right by here.
He's got the big blind here, but a pretty nice hand. Ace-10 of hearts. He's going to make the call here. So here comes the flop. It's come 7-6-3 with 2 spades. No help to either player. Franco quickly checks. And Tom going to continue with the larceny here. Going to make the continuation bet with nothing.
Yep. Looks like 80,000. Now Brunetti. Oh, this is surprising. He's going to stick around. He's called it.
Just called. Must think his ace-10 is the best hand here, which indeed it is.
Oh, he gets the 10 there on the turn. Pair of 10s.
Well, this card's going to give him a lot more confidence here.
You think?
He's not going to check it anymore in case his opponent's got something like King-Queen. He's going to lead right out and bet 155,000.
Come on.
What is going on? Braband going all in, and a quick call by Brunetti.
Well, a former baseball player about to strike out here. He's going to need an 8 for a straight or a jack to win this pot to stay alive.
He just thought he could muscle out the restaurant man.
The baseball player down about 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and it's 0-2 on him.
Can the baseball player get lucky?
Oh, he does.
He did it.
He hits an 8. And Beth, look how fast he jumped up. I guarantee he never ran to first base that fast in his life. Oh, man. That's like taking the spaghetti and throwing it right in the restaurant guy's face. Unbelievable.
What a card, and awful for Franco Brunetti. That's one spicy meatball.
Oh, boy.
6 players remain here on the WPT. We're coming back for more. Stay with us.
$5 million free roll. 2,000 players converge on December 13th in Las Vegas. One person will win $1 million. Will it be you? Sign up now at clubwptgold.com using code YouTube to be one of 3 people who wins their passport this week.
That last spot on a horrible beat on the river. Now he's short stacked. Franco Brunetti's all in here with king high against the 8 high of Kyle Wilson, who's looked him up. Now Kyle's gonna have to get lucky to eliminate him and see if he can do it. Oh, he did. So far, he's out-flopped him. Kyle Wilson out in front with the 2 6s. For Franco to stay alive in this tournament, he's gonna have to catch a king or 2 runners to make a straight or a flush.
Kyle Railbirds rooting their man on. Turn card coming up.
Well, the 9 comes off, so we're off to the river here. Franco Brunetti must catch a king on the river, otherwise he's going to be out in 6th place.
Well, it's a queen of diamonds. It's not going to do it for Franco Brunetti. Got this tournament to a satellite. A real gentleman. Tough beats here tonight.
Well, you're right, Ben. You just got to say the poker gods were not smiling on Franco here tonight. A couple tough beats to knock him out of this tournament. So Franco Brunetti going to be our 6th place finisher.
Well, he picks up 63,000. Just like that, we're down to 5 players. As you can see, Tom Lee is the chip leader, 3.8 million.
Well, right on his heels, Kyle Wilson, 3.7. And 3 out of these 5 players have been to a WPT final table before. Will experience win out tonight.
All right, action goes to Kyle Wilson. Our Canadian, a lot of momentum with a king deuce and the button is going to raise. Tom Lee out. Frankenberger, though, with a queen jack, is going to play. Here's the flop.
Oh, a nice flop for Andy as his flop top pair comes jack 6-5.
Yep, and he's first to act.
Look at this, he's going to lead right out and bet, Vince. 100,000. Kyle, always suspicious as to why a guy would lead out into a pre-flop raiser. Wondering if he can make a raise here, if he'll just take the pot away from this guy.
Well, he's got nothing. He'd have to be doing it with a lot of heart, and he's going to try it. He's made it 325,000. Whoa.
I call.
And Frankenberger not going anywhere. He has made this call.
Well, those are not the words Kyle wanted to hear. Well, now the board pairs 6s. So neither player crazy about that card. Fearful that their opponent might have a 6 in their hand.
Frankenberger with top pair still, though.
300.
He's going to bet 300,000.
Well, not a big bet into a pot that's got nearly 900,000 in it.
But don't forget, Andy Frankenberger came into this tournament as the chip leader. He's been whittled away, punched around. He needs this pot badly.
You hit that 6, Andy?
You
have a 6 in your hand?
How much behind?
No. I'm just wondering what you have.
Oh, jeez. I'm like,
you call on the flop and then you bet the turn.
A little confusion there.
Well, Kyle's wondering if he can raise one more time, would he win this pot? Chances are he might, but what to do now if you're Kyle Wilson? He took a stab at it. Re-raised on the flop, that didn't work. Will he try it again?
I'm gonna fold.
He's going to lay it down. So Andy Frankenberger taking down that pot.
You didn't have a thing, did you, Andy?
To quote my friend over there, would you like me to lie?
You don't have to.
I'd like to hear the lie. Find out how well he does it. He's tough, this Andy. He's a former equity derivatives trader. I have no idea what that could possibly be. But we will move on. And now it's Tom Lee, who's been taking a sabbatical lately, playing very tight. He folds his hand.
Over to Andy. He's out as well. Under the 25-year-old from Huntington Beach, California, Tom Braband. He's got the 4-5 of diamonds, the suited connectors. Just got lucky and won a pot a minute ago.
Yeah, Tom's a sneaky player. Likes to play a lot of different hands. Very creative player. And this time, proving that again, going to raise it to 100,000. Now, Mr. Brooklyn, Jared Jaffee. Jared's got a decent queen jack here. He's considering this.
Yeah. Former collegiate baseball player raises with the 5-4. But remember, Vince, these other players saw him try to steal a pot a minute ago with a jack-9 offsuit. They know the jig is up for this guy stealing all these pots. Jared's going to make the call with the queen jack.
Kyle Wilson with just 9-7, also going to make the call. Three-way action.
Feels like he's getting priced in, so 60% of the field playing this pot.
Going to the flop. Who will be lucky?
All three players have flopped a pair. Jared has flopped top pair. He's going to check.
Yep.
Kyle's flopped middle pair. He also checks.
And now a continuation bet. Nope. Braband also checking. To the turn we go.
Oh, and a 7 comes off.
Oh, no.
How many times tonight at this table have we seen the slot machine come up? 3 7s.
For the Canadian, how he's been checked into now how to play a 3 of a kind. What a card for him.
And he's going to bet right out with him, man.
Yeah, looks like 200,000.
Tom's saying to himself, this guy really got something, or he's just making a stab at this pot because we didn't bet on the flop.
Wow, Tom is going to give a little something here to it with just a pair of 4s, 200 grand.
And he's going to make the call. And now Jared's got a tough decision. Remember, nobody bet the flop. Now all of a sudden it's been bet and called on the turn. I think you get away from this hand, even if you got the best hand here.
Oh, he's going to do the opposite. He's shoved.
Well, Jared doesn't think
Count that,
so.
please.
He has shoved his stack in over the top. Now Kyle's thinking to himself, okay, do I re-raise this guy behind me? How to play this properly?
Well, what he's thinking about is, does this guy have me beat?
Well, you can't lay down 3 7s though. Not with a small stack like this.
You still got a man behind you, remember that.
Call.
But Kyle is going to make the call.
And Tom Braband goes away.
That's 7, right?
I have 7.
What a disaster here for the 2-day lawyer.
Good game.
Well, the 2-day lawyer's got 2 outs here. Must catch a jack on the river to win this pot. Otherwise, he's going to be out in 5th place, and it'll be case closed for the lawyer. Kyle, as you can see, not jumping for joy until that river card hits the board. All he's got to do is dodge a jack to win this pot.
Here comes the river.
That's a king. So that's going to do it for the 2-day lawyer, Jared Jaffee, out tonight in 5th place.
Well, a big effort for Jared. Disappointing, but he is going to take home 86,000. And just like that, we have 4 players remaining at the Legends of Poker.
Well, we've seen that Kyle Wilson's very confident in his game, but even with that confidence, you still got to get across the finish line with the dough. Let's see if he can do it. Here he looks down at 2 9s.
Nice hand for Kyle Wilson. And he is going to raise it. Makes it 140,000. Tom Lee out, Frankenberger out. And now it's around to Titan Tom Braband.
Well, Tom, the former collegiate baseball player, looks down at Kojak. He's got the king jack.
Mullen.
He's going all in here. He's come right over the top of Kyle. Thinks Kyle might be steaming from losing that last pot.
It's an additional 810,000 for Kyle to call with the 9s.
Call.
Well, he's made the call, so we've got the classic race situation. The 2 over cards versus the under pair. And as we all know by now, if you want to win poker tournaments, you got to win races.
Here's the flop.
Well, so far, so good for the Canadian. Kyle out in front with the 2 9s. As the flop comes queen 7-4. Tom is looking for some paint. He could catch 2 runners and make a straight, but he's got to have help to stay alive in this tournament. Doesn't come on the turn as an 8 comes off, so we're down to the river. Tom Braband must catch. A king or a jack doesn't do it as the 9 comes off. Well, that's going to do it for the 25-year-old from Huntington Beach, California. Tom Braband is going to finish in 4th place tonight. But you got to hand it to this guy. He's played 3 WPT events.
Yeah.
He finished 23rd in the LA Poker Classic. He made it to the final table tonight, finishing 4th. But in 3 tournaments, folks, let me tell you something. That is performing.
Well, he is a player, no doubt about it. Fine effort, but he's not a legend. One of these guys will be. And as you can see, Tom Lee is a chip leader now. He's the senior at the table. Can he finish here tonight? The antes are going up to 10,000. Blinds are 40 and 80.
Canadian Kyle Wilson, 2nd place. He folds his hand here.
And now the chip leader, Tom Lee, with a jack 6.
He limps in the small blind, and Andy, with the worst 2-card starting hand you can have, the 7-deuce offsuit, says give us a flop. Well, flop comes king, queen, 3. No help for either player. Tommy's still out in front with the jack high. He checks. Andy checks right behind him. Oh, now a deuce comes off. This gives Tommy Lee a flush draw, but
Gives Andy a pair of deuces, but they both check once again. Down to the river, queen of clubs, pairs the board. No help for either player. Again, Tommy Lee going to check.
look at this. Andy going to try to make a little small value bet here, 125,000. If you're sitting in Tommy's seat, you might think your jack high is the best hand here, believe it or not. If the guy would check down, maybe an ace high or even 2 deuces like he's got. He's made the call with a jack high.
7 deuces.
You know, Andy shows him a 2 deuces, and Tommy can't believe it. This guy would bet bottom pair on the river.
It's about the only way I can win today. If I don't even know if I did.
Pair, right? 2 pair, right?
He's got a pair of deuces.
Can I see your cards, please?
He wants to see your cards.
Want to see it?
Yes.
His ace high.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Well, how long do I have to wait?
I mean, next time I will ask you to show.
Sir, it's a fair question. I mean, the
Yeah,
hand's over.
I said you win. I didn't know it. Okay, so next time you have to show me, okay?
Sir, the hand's over. You don't get to just sit there forever.
I'm slow though, you.
That is the definition of a slow roll, my friend.
Okay, next time, you know, we just play poker now, okay? No more complaint, no more nothing, okay?
You can see Tommy Lee does not like it.
No.
He's been playing poker for 25 years. He knows it's not proper etiquette to ask an opponent to see a hand, especially a losing hand. I happen to think Andy is right here and has a right to see his hand if he wants to see it.
Let's go to the fell. Tom Lee now looking down at a pair of jacks and the button. Great starting hand.
Especially in a 3-handed poker game.
And he's putting out the raising chips like he should. Makes it 250,000 to go. Now Andy's going to fold. Only one to beat is Kyle, but look at this, Mike. He's got a pair of kings.
Unbelievable. Well, this could spell big trouble for Tommy Lee right here. Kyle comes over the top. He's going to raise it. Makes it 650,000 to go. Against most players would just shove right here with the 2 jacks. Says if you can beat this hand, good luck to you.
400,000, right?
Yep.
Tommy just calls with 2 jacks. Does not re-raise here. Now it's come queen 10-5. So there is an overcard to the jacks out there, but Kyle out in front with the 2 kings and checks them.
Setting a trap.
Well, once he's checked, I don't blame Tommy Lee for betting here.
Yeah, he's going to bet all right, $1 million.
Look at this little acting job. The deep breath, sitting back in the chair. Now he's going to look back down at his cards here.
Yep. Usually the guy sighs and moves around in his seat like that with the shoulders back. You know he's got something pretty good.
I'm all in.
And he's going to push all in.
Well, you wouldn't think a guy would go through all that gyration and acting there if he was bluffing. Well, his Canadian buddies on their feet now. Now let's see what Tommy Lee's going to do with the jacks.
What do you got, Tom?
Right?
Got ace queen?
And if he had ace queen, he would have already been in the pot. I can guarantee you that. Very surprised Kyle would even ask that question.
Yeah.
Looks very confident, Kyle does to me. I'm with you, Vince. Looks like he's got a strong hand the way he's been acting. Indeed he does.
You'd like a call, wouldn't you?
Just out of curiosity. That's the only reason I want.
No, you don't care about money.
Well, Tommy Lee's going to lay it down, and I believe Kyle did a little too much chatter there.
I agree. Let his player off the hook there a little bit, but Kyle Wilson will take that pot.
Oh, look at that. The Wonder Cam shows a jack on the turn, a 6 on the river.
Kidding me.
Incredible. Had Tommy played.
All right, back to the action. And Andy Frankenberger with ace-king. And he is going to bump it up, makes it 275,000. But Kyle behind him with ace-9. Quick to call.
So as the cards lie, Andy has him dominated. Ace-king versus ace-9. And what a flop for Andy. He's flopped the joint, the best hand possible, the ace-high straight, as it comes queen-jack 10.
Let's cinch the nuts. What do you do? Trap it. Dig the hole, put the branches and the twigs over it. Wait for the big sucker, Kyle, to fall in. And he is.
And he's done it. He's bet 300,000 here. He does have an open-end straight throw, but the best he can do is tie this hand.
That's a call. It's a call.
Kyle's exactly right. That was what we call a string raise.
Really? Okay.
He didn't have all the chips out there at once. Kyle quickly called him on it.
Next card.
He said, that's a call. Now, to me, that's a bit of a tell that you don't have anything yet. Now he's caught the king. He's made the ace-high straight, too. Both players have the ace-high straight, but Andy has the ace-high flush draw to go along with his straight. He's on the free roll.
There's 3 diamonds out there. And Andy Frankenberger is going to bet 775.
Well, Kyle has hit the best card he could hit right here.
And he has called it.
At least at the moment, to give him an ace-high straight. They're tied right now. Andy on the jelly roll. If a diamond comes off, he'd make a flush and have the best hand.
Another diamond.
5 of diamonds does come off.
So sick. So sick.
Andy has made the ace-high flush. Now the question is, how much to bet to get paid off?
Would you have called it if I raised before?
Would I have called it?
The Burger's starting to talk now, ask questions.
That is a weird question to ask at this stage before you bet.
I'm all in.
God.
And now he's going all in.
How does he say?
A huge overbet here in my mind.
This is going to put Kyle into the rubber room.
Can you count that, please? That's unbelievable. What kind of...
He is confused. He's angry about this.
Well, Vance, I don't blame him for being confused here.
What kind of act is that?
I don't know.
He says so sick, and then he goes all in.
Not too bad, actually.
I think it was a very strange act. I agree with Kyle here.
There's no way you say all that and then you don't have a diamond in your hand.
Guy said, would you have called me if I'd have gone all in on the turn? And now he goes all in on the river. Now, in my mind, the only way you can make that play is if you have the ace of diamonds or you don't have a diamond.
If he had nothing, it'd be the greatest bluff of the WPT, but not to be. Kyle figures it out, lays down the hand, good fold.
Well, Kyle laid down the ace-high straight, a good laydown by him.
So sick.
But very peculiar questioning in my mind by Andy there before he bet.
Kyle Wilson getting punchy here at the Bicycle Casino. We'll be right back. All right, back to the action.
Kyle Wilson looks down at queen 4 of spade in a small blind. He's going to raise it. Makes it 225,000 to go.
Tom Lee, he's got king 5 of diamonds. And he's going to stick around.
He's got position. Got more chips. He's going to make the call. And flop comes queen, jack 10. Kyle out in front now with the 2 queens.
And he's first to act, and he's going to bet at 150,000.
Tommy Lee has the open-end straight draw on the backdoor flush draw. And he's going to make the call. I bet he took off his hat there.
It's a little different without the hat. Here comes the turn card. It's a 4 of hearts. That makes queens and 4s for Kyle.
Oh, nice card for Kyle as he now has queens up. Well, there's nearly 800,000 in the pot. Kyle's going to bet 350,000.
He's going to make Tommy Lee pay for it if he wants to draw.
Tommy Lee, as the cards lie, must catch the straight to win the pot.
I'm all in.
Wow. He is going all in here on a stone bluff, folks. Unbelievable. Kyle knows the 4 didn't help this guy. So what he's got to wonder about, did this guy really flop a straight on me?
Wow.
He didn't re-raise before the flop. Hard to put him on ace-king. Could he have a 9-8 or a king-9 in this spot?
Calls the flop and you go all in the turn with it. 4 comes?
Unreal. Kyle Wilson perplexed. If he should make this call and his hand stand up, he'd be a massive chip leader.
I have no clue what you have, Tom.
But he's in a quandary right now.
Can you beat 2 pair?
Remember, his opponent called him on the flop and now has moved all in on the turn. After a 4, it can be no help at all to the guy.
Are you tired? Why are you doing that?
Tommy Lee, great poker face, trying to cover his whole persona there. Doing a good job of it, not letting a smart player like Kyle read him.
King 9.
Tommy Lee has more chips than Kyle. So Kyle knows if he makes this call and loses this pot, he's going to be out of here in 3rd place. What a tough decision to make with queens up in this spot.
Kyle is going to lay it down.
Show me bluff 1 time. One time, please. Show me. 1 time, please.
Can't show.
Oh,
Can't show it.
Tommy, put a little salt in that blood. He's not going to do it, though.
Believe me, Kyle, you don't want to see it, my friend.
Oh, wow. And the wonder can comes up. Card was irrelevant. Tommy wouldn't have gotten there.
That might have been the whole tournament. Might have been able to call that.
That is the bluff of the tournament. Well done for Tommy Lee.
I had no clue what to do.
You made the good laydown.
You grind these cowards out.
Don't tell them that. Then they're going to start playing harder. Don't want them to do that.
Telling them to shut up. These guys just gotta always make their dumb comments.
Greg Mueller up this time. He made a good laydown there, but in truth, they're probably not really believing it.
Now the Andes are going up to 20,000 blinds, a 60 and 120. All right, action right back on Kyle. He has got to be punchy at this point. He's just getting manhandled here tonight. He's going to fold a nothing hand. And now Tom Lee, just a queen 5. Happy to just call that. Mr. Frankenberger with a jack 5, content to see a flop.
And he's got clubs. And 2 clubs come on the flop. But Tommy has flopped top and bottom pair. He's got queens up.
What a flop for Tommy Lee. Queens in 5s, and he's going to bet at 300,000.
Vince, it's not going to shock me if we see a big pot brew right here on the flop.
I raise.
Because Andy's got one of those hands that it doesn't matter what his opponent has.
Yep.
He is not drawing dead. Even if his opponent had 3 queens, he'd have a flush draw.
He's making it 1,700,000 to go with a 4 flush and a pair.
Well, I think Tommy Lee's just going to have to go with this hand, Vince.
All in.
And he does so. He has gone all in.
Well, you can't blame him. He's got 2 pair, queens up. I'd move all in there, too. And I'd call if I was Andy.
Yeah.
It's just one of those hands that sort of plays itself.
I call.
Yep, he's going to call it.
Yeah, Tommy probably not going to like what he sees here. He knows the flush could beat him.
Tommy's family on the rail, sweating their father out.
Andy looking for another flush. He's made a couple flushes on the river to win big pots at this final table. Oh, clubs! 4 clubs right on the turn. Tommy Lee just can't believe it.
Come on, come on, come on.
It is not over yet, though. Tommy looking for a queen or a 5. That's what he needs to win this pot. Otherwise, he's going to be crippled. Well, a 7 comes off. Andy Frankenberger makes another flush to win another pot.
Unreal.
Well, Andy Frankenberger is now the big chip leader with 3 players left. Can this highly educated guy from Duke, playing in his first ever WPT event here in the States, take down this title? We shall see. Let's get back to the table.
Misfortune for Tommy Lee. He is just licking his wounds right now as he picks up ace-8 here. And he's going to shove all in.
Well, you can't blame him for that.
I call.
Frankenberger behind him with ace-7 of clubs has called. And Kyle Wilson with a queen-8 also going to call.
Well, this gives them 2 chances to knock Tommy out of this tournament where they can play heads up for this title. It's pretty much an unwritten rule. You're not going to bet here unless you got the nuts almost.
Here's the flop. King 9-4 helps no one at the table. Frankenberger going to check the side pot potential. Yeah. Kyle does as well. Queen on the turn. Kyle takes the lead with queens.
Well, it's gone check, check again.
Down to
Here
the
comes
river.
the river card. The jack of clubs comes off. This gives Andy the ace-high flush. Another flush he makes on the river. This one is going to knock Tommy out of this tournament.
There's nothing on the side, of course, yet, but
Well, he's going to bet something here.
got a cinch. You got to bet.
He might not bet much, but I can assure you he's going to bet.
Kyle looking impatient.
Clock.
Oh boy, he's calling the clock.
I want to keep playing. Like
Can't take it anymore.
400.
Well, I think that's the frustration of laying down
Yep.
those queens
Fold.
up, man. Now the guy's betting 400,000.
And Kyle ejects his hand, and Tommy sees his fate. It's not good.
Nice hand, Andy.
He is gone.
Well, that's going to do it for Tommy Lee. Gets very unlucky those last couple pots.
Tommy Lee, a gentleman, very entertaining player. He's going to go home with close to 175,000.
Don't worry about everyone.
Just like that, we are down to 2 players on the WPT.
$5 million free roll. 2,000 players converge on December 13th in Las Vegas. One person will win $1 million. Will it be you? Sign up now at clubwptgold.com using code YouTube to be one of 3 people who wins their passport this week.
Pro out of Canada is sitting on 2.6 million.
Frankenberger in his first ever WPT event in the United States. What a showing.
And he's got nearly a 3.5 to 1 chip lead over Kyle right now.
What do you have there? 120.
Andy's at 20,000 blind, 60 and 120.
Make it 240.
And Kyle with a queen 10 is going to raise it up to 240. Behind him, Andy Frankenberger with a king 9 offsuit.
Call.
And he's going to make the call. So here we go, round 1 of this championship battle. And the flop comes king 10-5. Andy has flopped 2 kings. Kyle has flopped 2 10s. And then so many times tonight we've seen this guy lead right out into the pre-flop raiser. He's doing it again here with 2 kings.
He takes the play away. That's 300,000.
Well, it confused Kyle before. Liable to confuse him here again. And indeed, Kyle making the call with the 2 10s. How can you blame him? You just automatically think the guy would check if he had kings to check raise you.
8 of clubs on the turn.
800.
Andy just keeps firing away. 800,000.
Andy, what do you got? Just bets into me twice.
He is befuddled, this Kyle Wilson. Seasoned professional, plays online all the time. A lot of respect for this player, and makes a good laydown right there.
Give me a bluff. You got king?
Kyle just consistently asks questions to other players.
Do you have a king?
Nobody ever answered it.
No one, no respect there. What did you have? Were you bluffing? I'll give you $100 if you show me. I mean,
It's not working.
no.
Just dummy up and play.
All right. Next hand we go. This time Andy with a big ace-9 of clubs.
Well, that's a pretty good hand, playing heads-up poker for sure.
Kyle staring him down, just beaming right through him. One of these men to become a legend of poker here at the Bicycle Casino.
Well, Andy's bet 275,000, and Kyle's picked up ace-3 of diamonds. Also a pretty good hand playing heads-up poker. Unfortunately for Kyle, he is out-kicked here, as we say.
I'm all in.
Wow, he is going to ship it. He says all in.
Man, that's a pretty big raise there. Nearly 2.4 million is the raise.
Frankenberger's pretty strong with an ace-9 of clubs. He's got a lot of chips. He can afford
I
to
call.
gamble, and he's going to make the call.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason he can call, Vince, because he can afford to make this call and still have a big chip lead even if he loses this pot. If he wins it, he'll be our champion. He's now excited. He sees he's got his opponent dominated. Kyle looking for diamonds or a 3 to pop off of there. Otherwise, he's going to be our runner-up finisher. Kyle's head down. He knows he's got to get lucky to stay alive here.
Here comes the flop.
Wow, what a flop. Andy has flopped the best hand with 2 9s, but Kyle has the flush draw and the backdoor straight draws. Unbelievable. Jack of hearts on the turn.
Not going to help Kyle there.
We're down to the river. Kyle needs to catch a diamond and make a flush to win the pot.
Otherwise, Frankenberger is going to win this event and become a legend of poker.
Well, here comes the river card. It's a 6 of spade. Andy Frankenberger made a lot of flushes at this final table, but to take the title, he had to dodge a flush. He's our champion.
Andy Frankenberger taking down the legends of poker, picking up $750,000 here tonight. What an effort.